ezi omume gị ka iwe wezugara anyị nrịanja niile ọrịa niile nke pụrụ ịdakwasị mmadụ dị ndụ n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye na-agwọ ọrịa ka anyị wee na-akpọkụ gị onwe gị bụ Chineke nke ndị agha ka iwe mere anyị ebere ka akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka ude nke anyị na-asụ wee bịa n'iru gị ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee guzosi ike ka anyị wee n'ikpeta mazụ nye ha sọgotụtara nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi maruo n'ebighị ebi ise mma dịrị gị Chineke mma dịrị gị Chineke mma dịrị gị Chineke.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remembrance. Remember, in this channel, we discuss about the issue of the people who have been subjugated in the contraption called Nigeria. We talk about the situation of Nigeria. We talk about the intimidation of the government. We talk about all the crimes that have been committed against the Biafran people, against the Oduduans, against the indigenous tribe in the contraption called Nigeria. That is what we discuss in this very channel. And meanwhile, I have to remind you again, please, if you have not joined the prayer that we are doing with Asorock Nandekano, please join the prayer. Remember, that prayer is the only means we have to connect to Asorock Nandekano. He gave all this prayer before he was abducted by the Janjaweed. Before he was abducted, before he was extracted to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition. He gave us this prayer. And since then, we have been praying along with him. If you have not joined, it is not yet late. Please join the prayer. Pray with commitment. That is the only way you can get the true message from Asorock Nandekano. That is where you can know where to go and where to follow. Because as we see, there are a lot of confusions everywhere, a lot of trouble everywhere. Many propagandas are coming from all corners, all attack from all corners. Everyone who is fighting for freedom in that contraption called Nigeria is under attack. Every indigenous tribe is under attack, and they are pushing propaganda from all corners. The media is not having matter. The media is supporting the government in subjugating the people and make sure they take away the right of the people. What are we going to do? The only thing we have to do is that you have to use your own platform. No matter how small, no matter how big your platform is, use it and speak about the plight of the indigenous people of the country called Nigeria. Use your platform to speak about what is happening in that contraption called Nigeria. A lot is really going on, and the media is playing it down. They pretend as if nothing is happening, but a whole lot is going on in the contraption called Nigeria. As I speak to you, the contraption called Nigeria is in the hand of the terrorists. The terrorists are in charge of Nigeria as I'm speaking to you now. Even though the government are pretending to be in charge, they are pretending, even they are playing it low. The most painful part of it is that the people from the southern part of Nigeria who are in the most risk are still joining them in painting this very situation simple. The situation is a critical one, is a serious one. It is not something to write home about. A lot is happening. As you can see in the northern part of Nigeria, a lot is happening, more especially in Jos as we speak. A lot of people are losing their life in Jos on daily basis. Nobody comes to their rescue. There is no military anywhere. There are no security forces anywhere. That is the situation Nigeria has found itself. And it's not going to get better any soon. That is the only reason why you have to speak up. If you don't speak, nobody's going to speak for you. Nobody's going to speak for me. That is why we have taken it upon ourselves to take our freedom. It is enough. We cannot continue to wait for the international community to speak for us or come for us. It is time for us to defend ourselves. Self-defense is the right of every living human being on the planet Earth. You have the right to defend yourself. That is what we are calling for. Defend yourself before it is too late. You can see what is playing out in Nigeria. Afghanistan situation is going to be a child's play compared to what is about to happen in Nigeria. That is why we are crying and shouting, so that the people of that contraption will prepare themselves and protect themselves. Already it has started. In the northern part of Nigeria, you see the government painting it simple, telling us that the Boko Haram have repented. That every time they are pushing out through their media, pushing out the wrong narrative through their media. The narrative they are pushing through their media is that the Boko Haram have repented and they are coming to town. That they are subduing the Boko Haram. I have said it time without number. They have not conquered Boko Haram, neither are the Boko Haram surrendering. They are not surrendering. Boko Haram are just coming into town because they reached an agreement with this government of Janjaweed. That is the reason why they are coming into town. They were not overcome. They are not tired of what they are doing. They have not surrendered. They are still pursuing that agenda on a daily basis. The only reason why you see them coming to the town is because the government of Muhammadu Buhari have reached an agreement with them to give them everything they need to abide by the rules and regulations, and that is exactly what they are doing. As you all know, all they are planning is to plant a caliphate in that contraction called Nigeria. Remember what Boko Haram means. There is no education. As I'm speaking to you now, thousands of schools have been shut down in the northern part of Nigeria. They have been shut down. Government is not making any arrangement to protect them. Neither is government making arrangement to find out that thing that is making them to shut down, to take it away. Instead, they are empowering the bandits. And it is funny when they begin to talk about bandits. It is that same Boko Haram that we are all scared of. Boko Haram that we are all complaining about. They are the ones that have been renamed to bandits in Nigeria. That Boko Haram you know of, the terrorist group you know that have been terrorizing people, killing people, they are the people that have been renamed as bandits so that they can be abducted into the society, so that people can be able to talk less, and eventually people accepted them and they are coming into the society up to the extent of having somebody to be a spokesperson for them, asking for them to be forgiven after killing good number of people, and still doing so. A whole lot of people have been killed in Nigeria by this Boko Haram, by these so-called bandits. Whatever name they call them, we know that these are terrorist organizations operating in the northern part of Nigeria, and they are Fulanis. Every terrorist organization you see in Nigeria is operating, both ISWAP, both Boko Haram, or whatever they call them, they are all Fulanis. The Fulanis are the ones who are controlling this very terrorist group. We have been speaking about it, talking about it. People think it is a joke. It is no longer a joke. It is now in the field. Everybody now knows what is happening in that country of Nigeria. But the most painful part is the people from the southern part of Nigeria who have decided to be part of this very evil. They have decided to allow themselves to be used by this very Janjaweed government to sell out their people. They are not talking. Instead of talking about the situation, they are fighting against their own people. Look at the two people, the two strong voices who have the southern part of Nigeria, Sunday Igboho and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are in captivity. And the governments of that very section kept silent as if they don't know what is happening. The elites are doing nothing. The honest Igbo is saying nothing about the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The governors are doing nothing about it. They are silent, colluding with the government to take away somebody who is speaking for the masses. As you and I know, there is no voice in the southeastern part of Nigeria, in Biafra land, the whole southern region, the old southeastern region. The only voice that controls that area is the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's the only one fighting for the masses. That is why the masses obey him. Whatever he says, even from a distance, every single soul in the Biafra land obey, including those who are pretending not to follow him, not to like what he's doing. If you are sincerely fighting for freedom in that very country of God, Nigeria, it doesn't matter your tribe, it doesn't matter your religion, you must have to support our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and you must follow whatever he's saying. Anybody whom you see saying anything against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, talking against him at this particular point in time, is part of the agenda. He's part of the people who are enslaving us. They are doing it for their selfish interests. They are doing it for their gain, or they are doing it out of jealousy and envy. They do not want to agree with the revelation that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been, that is now playing out. It is no longer a joke. Whatever you are hearing today, it is something that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has spoken about. He has been crying about this situation for a very long time. People thought it was a joke. You can see what is happening in Jos. The videos that are coming out from Plateau State is so gruesome that it cannot be shared. People are being killed on a daily basis. The terrorist government of Muhammadu Buhari does not do anything to protect the people. They talk about reprisal. There will never be any time they will protect the people, especially when the reprisal is against the indigenous people. When the terrorist is coming against the indigenous people, you will never see the Nigerian military coming after them to protect them. The only time you see the Nigerian military in action is when they are coming after the indigenous people. When they are protecting the terrorists themselves, protecting the Fulani terrorists to take away the land. That is when you see them, you know that we have the military. And this thing has been happening. We have been crying about the situation of Nigeria, that the Fulanization of Nigeria is what is about to happen. The Islamization of Nigeria is what's about to happen. Mazin Nando Kano cried and cried and cried. He passed on the message to us, and we are preaching on daily basis online. But people think it's a joke. Some tell you that it cannot happen. Some say it is not possible. Some say call us ethnic bigots. Some call us different kinds of names. But today, the revelation has finally come from the horse's mouth. I am going to share with you a very important video. A very important video to show you what is happening in the contraction called Nigeria. It is not all well. When we are telling you that the Muhammadu Buhari government is a terrorist government, people fail to understand and fail to live. But today, an insider, a secret security officer in Nigerian government is now making a revelation on national television, telling us that the sponsors of Boko Haram are in the government of Muhammadu Buhari. They are the one in charge of Nigerian government. Those who are sponsoring Boko Haram are in charge of Nigerian government as I speak to you. When Mazin Nnamdi Kanu was saying it, people thought it was a joke. They didn't believe him. When we talk about it online, or people come on the comment section and they talk rubbish. But today, we have been vindicated. Somebody who is an insider, who has worked with the Nigerian government for a very long time, more than 35 years, a secret security officer, has come on national television, not minding if they're going to assassinate him or not. He even said it, that even if they assassinate him, he doesn't care. He came out to say that the reason why the problem of Nigeria can never be solved is because of what is happening in the Muhammadu Buhari government, that the people who are in charge of Boko Haram are members of Muhammadu Buhari government. I want you to watch this video from beginning to end. So, after watching this video, and you still continue to talk about one Nigeria, God have mercy on your soul. May God have mercy on your soul. Let us watch this video carefully. Watch it from beginning to end. Listen to every single statement that this man is going to make. He hit the nail at the head. He never hid any secret. This is why we are asking out of the contraption. Watch from beginning to the end.
I've been an operational commander all my life. I've commanded warships, I've commanded troops, I've commanded men outside Nigeria and so on. But I'm not going to come to your station to discuss kinetics. The problem is not kinetics. In 2017, 2016, I'm always a member of the Security and Intelligence Brief at the Defense Headquarters. I told them, General Lawrence Shakin then, that the challenge we have in this country cannot be solved the same way we solved the problem of Niger Delta. The Niger Delta problem was solved during Yar'Adua time, basically by me. And I told them that we can't use that same template for Boko Haram. I told General Lawrence Shakin to look at the center of gravity of the problem. And we all came together. I was made a member of the committee, including Atahiru that just died was a member of that committee in 2016, 2017. And we came to a conclusion after several arguments. The arguments were three. To identify the center of gravity of the problem, one group said it is the fighters, the Boko Haram fighters are the center of gravity, so we should go after them. Another group said the center of gravity of Boko Haram is Abubakar Shekau. So if we go after Abubakar Shekau, then the problem of Boko Haram will be solved. I took exception to the group. I said that is not the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram insurgency that we were having between that 2012 and 2017. And General Lawrence Shakin asked me, allow me, why are you giving problem? What is the problem? Give us the answer. And I told General Shakin that if I tell you the answer, you're not going to be able to solve the problem. He said, what is the problem? I said, the center of gravity of Boko Haram and insurgency in Nigeria are the sponsors of that program. It was beyond us. Because the job we need to do is kinetics. Fight, destroy places, resolve issues. Yeah. But we cannot resolve issue of sponsors of Boko Haram that were in Buhari's government, that we know them.
When you say we, who
I was in the military intelligence. Okay. And the defense headquarters staff that I work with, they know. And that was why we couldn't pursue that aspect that will have resolved that problem, because you need to arrest people. And recently, 400 people were gathered as sponsors of Boko Haram. Why is it that Buhari government has refused to try them?
So the government knows sponsors of Boko Haram?
Of course, it's in the news. In April this year, the government said they have arrested 400 Bureau de Change related, people that were sponsoring Boko Haram. They told us. And Abu Dhabi also helped us to arrest few Nigerians. Tried them. We know them. Why can't this government, if not that they are partisan and they are actually part of the charade that is going on, why can't they bring those people out for trial?
So the Bureau de Change operators on the one hand, but you particularly said people in government. Are those part of the Bureau de Change, or those people that you say are in government are still there, government is aware, and government is condoning them?
The people I mentioned that are in government are not these ones they just arrested. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012.
Yeah.
And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on the air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Asorock. Why should a government try to cause this kind of embarrassment and insecurity to the sense of what happened yesterday? And the solution I gave them in 2017, because when I identified the center of gravity for General Shocking, and they couldn't pursue it, because some of them were ministers. And what I'm saying now, the Department of State Services are listening to me. They know them.
Yeah.
So the solution I gave them was that if we can't pursue the policy strategic level, because the people that we need to talk to are also, going to be difficult to deal with. I said what they should do now is to conduct two things. We should buy blames. The blames are not UAVs. They are not drones. Blames are equipments that can fly up to 10,000 feet, 30,000 feet, static if you want, mobile if you want, and they carry a lot of payload. We saw them in Afghanistan. We saw them in Kenya. This will be something that can give us real-time intelligence, and we can know where these bandits or terrorists, where they emanate from, when they finish operations that they've done, where they go back to.
Okay. Well,
they did not buy this equipment up to.
Okay, you said quite a number of things. Let's pick up on some of them and see if we could make some, if you could shed some further light on some of them. Since 2012, I mean, you've been in operation, as you said, ever since that time. You questioned several people. Some people were identified at that time. Did the government at that time try any of them? Or were any of them also in government at the time?
No, the government did not try any of them, and the defense headquarters where I worked then did not pursue that line of operation because it's beyond them. The defense headquarters, actually, when you look at the defense structure of Nigeria, they lie within the policy strategic level, but basically they are operational guys. So when you have policy problem, then they cannot go beyond their masters. They can write intelligence report and say this is what is going on. And we've seen that the present government know what is going on.
So is this a policy problem? I mean, the laws are clear. If someone is said to be involved in something as devious as this, the laws are clear. This person is meant to be arrested, questioned. I mean, it's quite clear. So is it a policy problem? We have the laws. So what is stopping the security agencies from actually enforcing the law, since that's what they are?
I think what is stopping them is like when you are a member of a church and your pastor have decided to be at a certain level of spiritualism and you're a member of that church. You cannot be higher than your pastor spiritually. You can't, no matter what you do.
So this is the same religion you spoke about?
Yes. In real life, you see that the defense headquarters cannot conduct any operations that is not sanctioned by the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Yeah. They cannot.
No matter how small, little
they cannot. So when the Yar'Adua government decided to put an end to Niger Delta militancy, that was in 2007. What he did was simple. He called all the security chiefs and all the intelligence chiefs and tasked them to come up with a solution. The Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Intelligence Agency, the Department of State Services were called with the Inspector General of Police and the Interpol to come up with the solution to the problem. Then the problem was Niger Delta. The president was Yar'Adua. He was dispassionate. He wanted to solve the problem. Within 6 months, we solved the problem. I remember I have to go to Angola to go and bring Herioka, and nobody in Nigeria knew what we did. All we know is that since 27, 28 that we conducted our operation under Yar'Adua, Niger Delta issue has remained manageable. This government does not want to resolve this problem. They are escalating it because of tribal and religious sentiments.
So when you say this government does not want to resolve it, don't forget the same government has purchased, in fact, they're going to induct the Super Tucano jet because of, the insecurity situation. The president has had to change guards, as it were, as a result of people's clamor. I imagine if that was not in the thinking, why would you go that length to make some of the, some of the pronouncements, the meetings that have happened, the purchase, the change of guard and the rest? Why would they do all that if they don't want to sort this?
Because that is not the solution. What you just mentioned is not the solution. When you have a problem at policy level, strategic level, operational level, when you have a problem, what you need to do is to identify the center of gravity of that problem and attack it. That's what you do. What they are doing is not attacking the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram and insurgency. So if the president is buying Super Tucano, is changing service chiefs, that is not the solution.
This government does not want to resolve it. Don't forget the same government has purchased, in fact, they're going to induct the Super Tucano jet because
you have a problem at policy level, strategic level, operational level. When you have a problem, what you need to do is to identify the center of gravity of that problem and attack it. That's what you do. What they are doing is not attacking the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram and insurgency. So if the president is buying Super Tucano, is changing service chiefs, that is not the solution. We are looking at the wrong side. It's not kinetic. It's politics.
Are you ruling out kinetic altogether?
I can't rule out kinetic because
so it's
a spectrum. It's a spectrum, so you can't rule out something. But the center of gravity is what they should look at. And what is it? I'm saying it on this channel. It is the sponsor of Boko Haram and bandits.
And speaking about the sponsors, when you say the DSS, and they could be listening to you, but so they profile, part of their responsibility is to profile all of these persons before they either vie for elections or before, they are nominated for any of these positions. Doesn't that happen? Don't they get intel and say, look, this and this is what we found, and then we don't think that this should proceed further? Doesn't that happen?
It does. When I worked with the DSS in 2007, because when Yar'Adua approved the operational order that we did, we now have to work together as a team. He actually forced all of us to sit down together and work together. I was surprised at the tremendous amount of information had by DSS. I was shocked. We in DI, I was in Defense Intelligence Agency, and when they were forced to bring out the files, I was shocked. They have so much information at DSS presently as I'm talking about what I'm talking about. They have. But you see, if a fish is going to get spoiled, it's going to start getting spoiled from the head. The DSS will not do anything except the Commander-in-Chief's body language shows that this is the direction I want to go. That is where the problem is. The DSS has tremendous information. By the time 2023 is here and somebody take over and wants to undo some of this evil that I've seen in this country, you'll be surprised names that the DSS will bring out. They have the information. There's nothing I'm going to say here that they don't have. The defense headquarters have the solution for the kinetic aspect. They do. I'm not going to come here to advise them. I work with them and they're still there. The Chief of Naval Staff was in the intelligence with me. We were together in Defense Intelligence Agency. That's Vice Admiral Gambo. I know these people are good. They know what to do. It's not that they have problems. It has to do with politics, the sponsors, people that feel that this country should be Islamized.
You know, assuming but not conceding that, I mean, that all of this is the case. So what is the end game? Because I imagine as a strategist, that's what you think about too. So these things are happening. What is the end game? So why will this be allowed to fester? For what purpose?
The end game for them, because we did, normally when you want to look at this type of challenges, what you do is that you go through what we call the intelligence circle. Okay? When you do the processing and you do the analysis before dissemination point, you discover that the end game for them is to just turn this country into like a Taliban type of country. And it's a mindset. And anything goes. In other words, 10% casualties, 20% casualties allowed in trying to achieve the end game of Islamizing this country.
That's for the terrorists, the bandits.
It's not for the terrorists and the bandits, for the sponsors. Because I told you, and I will repeat on this channel, the sponsors of Boko Haram and the bandits are the problems. And defense headquarters, the army headquarters, the naval headquarters, the air force cannot do anything about that. Buhari has to do something about that. The Interpol has the list of those people that are sponsoring Boko Haram. I work with Interpol. They should ask, if they don't know, they should ask. The government of Dubai, they have the list of those people. During the trial of those people that were caught, names were mentioned. They have the list. The government also told us that they've arrested 400 sponsors of Boko Haram. Why should the government not try those people and bring peace and harmony and safety to this nation? Why won't a government do that? Those people that are going to harass cadets and officers in NDA, they live around the place. I know NDA very well. I was in Georgia, I was in NDA as young officers, and I know the area very well. They live around the place. So why can't you put up a blimp that can see what they are doing in real time and eliminate them? Why won't you do that?
In fact, there were more details saying that some...
She is right. It's not about ransom. They just want to pass a message. We can come in. We can do what we need to do. And there are some hardliners in this government that are sponsoring this kind of narratives. They just want to show that they can Islamize this country. They think about Taliban. They think about the Mujahideens. And they want to replicate it in this country. And they don't care what happened. They simply don't care. As long as at the end of the day, there's Sharia and there is whatever thing they have in their head and they want to achieve. So these people that are sending messages are sponsored by Nigerians.
So if I could follow up on that quickly.
Please go ahead.
This part of what you just spoke about now, the security agencies gleaned this from those who they arrested over time, saying this is the intention.
Absolutely. The intention of it's on the internet. So it's not even about the people we interrogated. The intention is to Islamize Nigeria and practice Sharia. And it doesn't matter if some people die. It doesn't matter if you're embarrassed. It doesn't matter if our economy has degenerated. Look at the interest rate. Look at the inflation rate. Look at the debt profile of Nigeria. They don't care. As long as at the end, the Quran is at the sea. So some people in this country have this mindset. And we must tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you die. If you don't tell it, you die. Some people have this mindset to Islamize the nation. And they are in the government. And people know them. The DSS know them. The NIA know them. The DIA knows them. Because it is the DIA that conducted the operations that arrested these sponsors. So they know them. Why is the government, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces?
The general area of Afaka, where the NDA is cited, is no stranger to this sort of attacks. Before now, I mean, a few other institutions around the Defense Academy have also been attacked. Talking about the Institute of Agriculture and Forestry, Mechanized Division, something to that effect. I can't remember the exact name of the institution now, but we do know that they have been around this area. Now, I'm looking at the front page of Daily Trust newspapers, and they have this, why NDA security was compromised. And the first writer says, bandits leave peacefully. Peacefully is in parenthesis, near academy. There have been questions before now that sometimes, this happened in Jos, around Rukuba, that, there were attacks happening in the neighboring area, and that the military institutions did nothing. The same thing happened when there were attacks on the airport, residential area in Kaduna. That was very close to the Defense Academy. They did nothing. They attacked the forestry school in Kaduna. They did nothing. Now they have finally come for them, but the talk is that these people have been there all along. They never went anywhere. The bandits who perpetrated this attack have been there all along. Does the military really need, I mean, if this is something that is of concern to the security agencies, because it was only a matter of time from what it would seem that we're reading that these attacks were going to happen, did they really need to wait this long before they took action against people they knew were a security threat to not just them, but also the people around their environment?
Yeah, Mape, I may also shock you that some cadets have been abducted before now. And when they took these cadets away, and they demanded for ransom, as low as 400,000 naira at that time, the cadets were released after the ransom were paid. And the cadet told them that where they took them to, that they could hear the parade going on in NDA, that they were not taken far away from NDA, that every morning they hear the parade and the programs going on in NDA while they were in the camp of the terrorists. You are right. These people live around NDA. It's about social-cultural issue. As long as you are a Muslim and you speak Fufude or Hausa, you can do whatever you like and fraternize with the military and go in and out of the barracks. You are saying that the attack did not happen on Friday. Of course, it will not happen on Friday, but they have enough time to carry out surveillance. They have enough time to have insiders that will work with them. The problem is that journalists should go around our military institution this Friday and carry their cameras and see the decadence, the security breach that goes on every Friday in all military institutions across Nigeria, and tell the Minister of Defense to put a stop to that. The defense institutions, they are sacred. They are not where people can come on Friday, throw open the gate because they want to come and do Jumat. The truth is that on Sundays, we don't have such invasion of our premises by Christians to come and pray or to come and do whatever on Sundays. But for the 35 years I spent in the military intelligence, if you go to Tego Barracks in Apapa, it's the same. The Tego Barracks is where I was trained as an intelligence officer. It's the same. On Friday, they will troop in. They throw it open. It's religion. And because we must think about solution. The Minister of Defense should stop this. They should make pronouncement and stop it. Every Friday, people should go to various mosques around them to pray and maintain the sanctity of our military institutions. That's what I
wanted to know.
At defense headquarters, every Monday, even if you go this Monday coming, you will see they are always there to discuss intelligence and security brief. We discuss all topics there, including the issue of Muslims gathering every weekend. All those barriers you see at defense headquarters, and that's why I'm talking to the media. They should go there on Friday. The barrier is no longer there. It's open because it is Jumat. And this is when they come to carry out surveillance. If you look at what happened in Mogadishu Barrack, it was the same. That was the time they went there and blasted the place and killed a lot of people. It's these same people that are allowed to have access on Fridays and become members of the mess because they are, it's a social-cultural issue. So I think we should begin to look, the Minister of Defense should put an end to this, because for 35 years of my stay in the military intelligence, it has been the case. Both naval institutions, Air Force institutions, Army institutions, even the Department of State Services. Once it's Friday, the gates are thrown open, and people come from outside, and there'll be no space. They'll be all over. If you go to Defense Secretary on Friday, this Friday, you see them littered everywhere.
If I could just comment. This conversation is usually quite tricky. People listening, some might take different perspectives to it, thinking, oh, is this a religious thing? Is this an ethnic thing? They ask, is it only Muslims you have in the military? Is it only people from this certain cultural, heritage that you have in the military? And I'd like us to tackle the issues. You have mentioned what you have called the core, as it were, of the problem. How do we tackle this without viewing it from a religious spectrum, an ethnic spectrum? Because well, Nigeria is quite, polarized across, these groups, ethnicity and religious. How do we tackle it without coming off as though you're inciting people, on those lines?
You see, one thing I discovered in this country is that when it comes to religion, everybody is very sensitive. But the fact I have laid bare is from the experience of 35 years of military intelligence. So I'm not coming to the air to whip up sentiments, no. I have been in the system. I work with Abacha government. I work with Babangida government. I work with Abdul Salam. I work with Yar'Adua Obasanjo. As a core insider of operations, I belong to a group of people that you are not supposed to see, people that you are not supposed to hear, because we have 3 classes of military officers. I belong to the wars group. I lost my family because my family does not have to know where I have been, where I have gone, and I cannot talk. I've seen Colonel Lu here, I've seen Stan Lambo. Some of us belong to that group that we are not supposed to be seen and we are not supposed to be heard. The truth I'm telling you now is not about sentiments. Is that there are a group of people in this country that feels that this country should be Islamized. This is a fact. Except you want me to start mentioning names of people in this government that we have interrogated. I was a member of an interrogation team, and I've interrogated a very high-ranking member of this government in 2007, 2008 on the issue of Boko Haram. I interrogated him. He's in this government right now. And what was the issue? Boko Haram. And this senior officer was actually let go because he was found culpable. But right now he's in the government. You see, we must say the truth, because if you don't, this country is going down the precipice. We have been set back more than 60 years right now. We've gone back to the time before 1966 now. And whoever is coming back to repair this country has a lot of work to do. This country has never been polarized, so we cannot run away from it. We have never been this much polarized. I'm a federal person. My mind is federal. My brain is federal. My loyalty is federal. I do things for the federal government. So I cannot come here and try to be sentimental. No, I'm a federal person.
So will your life be at risk now that they're hearing you?
I don't care. I don't care. And my colleagues, they know me. Those people that listen to me, they know me. I don't care. The issue is that this country is bigger than an individual. That is the issue. This country is bigger than individuals. Buhari will come and go. Eliminating me or killing me will not solve the problem and will not add value. But he will come and go. And somebody must come and repair the damage to the psyche of this society, the damage to the polarization, to the nepotism that I've never seen in my life. I work with all these presidents. This is the worst situation I've found myself. And believe me, internet does not forget. I was part of the people that helped to bring Buhari to government because I believe in him.
Have you worked with the government after that?
After
you helped bring the government?
Oh, of course, I worked with him. We brought him in 2015, and I work as the Deputy Director of Defense Administration. And we have a lot of hope in him. And we actually are ready to do anything for him. What he has turned out over the years is shocking to us. I was in Harvard in 2014, in December, when the Department of State Services and CIA and others were contemplating about Buhari and other aspirants. I know what we did to convince the American government that the only person that can come and put this country right is Buhari. That was before the Lagos, the APC, before they chose within.
Right.
And that was how Tinubu came in. We know what we did, but what he has done in the past 6 years is shocking. It's unprecedented. And it should not be allowed to be swept under the carpet because the damage to the psyche of this country is monumental.
We'll talk more on this, but pardon me, we've got minutes. And now, you look at the entire procedure, how this attack was carried out. And then they also said that those who were supposed to be manning the CCTV were sleeping at that time. So if you look at all this chain of events, what does that tell you?
Yeah, I think, when you come to tactical operations, the most important element for us is surprise. It doesn't matter whether they slept off, whether the people that are supposed to be... at that time, 1 a.m., they know that they can achieve the element of surprise. Even if after 30 minutes of their invasion of that environment, it will take a lot to be able to respond to such an attack. So don't start looking for who to blame or who to...
It's just with a view to correct some of these things. Are they supposed to be sleeping in the first place, manning CCTV cameras?
For an attack, I've conducted attack in Niger. I've conducted attack in Angola. You see, no matter how fortified an environment is, no matter how foreign it is, if you can achieve the element of surprise, you win. I know NDA very well. I know the security architecture. Even if by that time, 1 a.m., they want to respond to that, I know the process. The weapons are in the armory. You need to go and open the armory and start signing. The bandits is not going to allow that to happen. They continue to fire and continue to follow up. And you cannot respond. Any response, you are going to be caught by bullets. So it's not about what happened at 1 a.m. Gentlemen, it's about what has been happening for the past 2 years, 3 years, where these people have been having access, unfettered access to NDA.
So
and they carry out their surveillance, and they know the right time to strike. It's about 2-3 years back. It's not about now. So anybody that wants to investigate this issue should not look at now. They should look at what has happened in the past 2 years, 3 years, how porous the place has been, and try to mitigate it.
Two issues I'd like to quickly raise. First, do you also agree with the theory of insider collaboration for this to have happened in such brazen manner?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no, I mean, we do operations like this too. And there's no way we can succeed without somebody inside. We must compromise somebody inside, either through blackmail or through incentives. Maybe we give money, or we blackmail the person, or we try to indoctrinate that person. We can't succeed without an inside person. And this attack you saw has insiders collaboration. I mean, I've investigated cases like this over the years. And I know 60% of the time, when you see an attack like this, there's an insider there.
So until that insider is fished out, we might have this sort of attack again and again.
It will always happen. There will always be insiders. If you look at the intelligence estimate globally, there are two variations. The variables are the hostile intelligence service, which is external to that country, and the domestic subversive organizations that is embedded in that country. Nothing evil can happen to a nation without the insider within that nation collaborating with the hostile intelligence services that is outside. It will always happen.
If I could just raise this other part. In the statement that was put out, the term unknown gunmen was used 3 times, the 3 paragraphs. Unknown gunmen, unknown gunmen, unknown gunmen. Prior to this time, people called them bandits. Some even called them terrorists. But is it instructive for you that it was a term unknown gunmen that was used?
It's deliberate. You know, I'm sorry to say that the media is part of our problem.
No, I'm talking about the statement from the academy itself, actually.
The academy also have to use that word to avoid reprimand from the higher authority. I was the commandant of Defense Intelligence College, and I know that at that time there are things I cannot say. If you term them terrorists, it carries a lot of weight, and you can be reprimanded for that as a commandant of NDA. So he's going to be very careful to keep on using that same term that is safe to use, because there are legal and other implications when you term a group terrorists. But I want to say on this channel that those people are terrorists. And if the government of Buhari is serious about putting an end to what we are saying, he must pronounce them terrorist organization. Because once he does, it carries a lot of weight. And the reaction of the armed forces, where I belonged to before, will be completely different.
What was the point you were going to make about the media?
There is nothing that is going on today that is not actually tainted by the media.
How?
And that is why I have to come here and make bold to say what I've said. The media also know 80% of what I've said now, but they will not publish it. They know. I work with journalists. I was Deputy Director of Foreign Liaison at Defense Intelligence Agency. I work with journalists. I was Commandant Defense Intelligence College. I work with journalists. I train journalists in intelligence operations. They know. So why are they not also saying the obvious that will help the security and safety
So at that
and
time,
progress of this country?
so at that time that you worked with the journalists and training them and doing all of that, did you give them permission to publish your name as a source if they were going to go to press with those details?
Oh, I did. It was a policy because, you see, when I was made the commandant of Defense Intelligence...
No, because you had said that you belonged to a group that was not supposed to have been heard or seen.
Yeah.
So how did you give them permission to publish your name?
Yeah, because at that time I was holding a different appointment. I've held a lot of appointments in the military. There are certain appointments I will hold that has no connotation with intelligence at all. For example, I was the Chief of Staff Logistic Command for the Navy. That appointment has nothing to do with intelligence. I was the defense advisor to Nigeria in France. It has nothing to do with intelligence. So there are times I hold appointments and I have to deal with journalists. And I must tell you, I can mention some of them. Mohammed of NTL, I trained them because I wanted them to understand that military intelligence is not like a cult. I exposed some aspect.
Even though most of their documents are usually top secret and they tell you can't publish or even access the document, even if you see it by mistake.
No. There are places you process top secret. I mean, if you want to talk about document security, it's a lecture of itself. You have unclassified materials, you have confidential materials, you have secret materials, and you have top secret. There are processes. It's an area of...
After watching this video, will you still be talking about one Nigeria? Will you still be talking about unity in diversity? It's a shame that even the man that is making revelation, after making the revelation, he is still talking of being a one Nigeria panelist or whatever he calls himself. He is still calling himself a one Nigeria, a country you have killed for, done everything for, knowing fully well what is the problem, that this country cannot stand, yet you are bent on keeping the contraption together. That is the kind of mindset we have in people of Nigeria. This security man, after making terrible revelations about this country, knowing that if you listen carefully from what he has said, the diversity of Nigeria is the reason why Nigeria can never be together. It doesn't matter what anybody says. The diversity is so strong that is the reason why we cannot be together. See what the man is explaining. Religion has played a very massive role in Nigeria and continue to play and will continue to play. And the northern part of Nigeria and southern part of Nigeria can never be together. Because the northern part of Nigeria will never accept a secular government. They will never accept a secular country. What they want is an Islamic country. Why are you stopping them from having what they want? Why don't you split this country into pieces? Let people go their separate ways and practice what they want to practice. That is what our Supreme Leader now kind of calling for. Referendum. Why is it so hard for you to abide by referendum, go by referendum, so that people can choose where they want to belong to? Is it a good thing that people should lose their life, sacrifice their own life for a peace that will never come? You are talking about one Nigeria. Where are you going to get one Nigeria in this kind of a country where the people, the terrorists, are in charge of the government? People who have been indicted by the government by itself are in the government, controlling the terrorist that is killing you and I. Yet, people are going about their business as if nothing is happening. What a shame. What a shame. You see a revelation that somebody was making. That person that is talking is not just an ordinary person in the street. It's just not like outsider like myself that I'm speaking here. He is an insider who have worked with different kinds of government in Nigeria, telling you that he has interviewed top officials of this very government. They have been indicted as members of Boko Haram. They are in Asorock. They are in the House of Assembly. They are governors in the contraption called Nigeria, where you are proud to be part of. And you are still calling yourself a Nigerian. May Chukwu Kagame have mercy on your soul. After watching this video, I see no reason why somebody will come and hit his chest again and call him or herself a Nigerian. Sometimes when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says certain things, people don't understand him. There was a video Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made when he was talking on his broadcast. He said that anybody that called him or herself a one Nigerian should be spat on. That such person is not worthy to be called a human being. These are the reasons. There are a lot of things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu know that you don't know. That is when he's speaking with passion and crying, he knows what he's talking. Today, somebody in Nigeria, a one Nigerianist, who have served, a security officer who have killed for Nigeria, have come out to make a revelation. And yet, you are sitting back thinking it's business as usual. It can never be business as usual. And everyone that supports this government will pay with his or her own blood. You don't know who is going to be tomorrow. You don't know who is going to be tomorrow. From every indication, you can see that the government have lost control. It's not even about losing control. When you say government will lose control, it will seem as if they had control at any time. How can somebody be fighting against himself? The Boko Haram members we are talking about are in charge of Nigeria. They are in Asorock. People you are fighting, they are in Asorock. How can you overcome them? How can you overtake them? The man have said it openly that the agenda of this people is to Islamize Nigeria. It is no longer Mazi Nnamdi Kanu talking or myself broadcasting online. An insider in the government, a security officer, secret security officer. That people who are in this government, the only agenda they have is to Islamize the country by all means possible. They do not believe on secular country. And yet you are there sitting back thinking that it's all well. It is not all well, and it's not going to be well anytime soon. That is why we are calling for self-defense. Go back to your region wherever you belong. No matter your religion, no matter what you call yourself, the safest place for you to be is among your people. If you are from this old southeastern region, join the Biafran struggle. Join the Biafran struggle to redeem yourself from this evil that have come. If you are from the southwest, join the Oduduwa group to redeem yourself. From the middle belt, form your vigilante group to redeem yourself. The government can never protect you. They are the one who are planning to take away the land by all means possible and give to the terrorists. They are almost done in the north. They are coming down south with full force. If you do not wake up, you will not live to tell the story. If you do not wake up, you will not live to tell the story. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Okike protect our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wherever he is. May Chukwu Okike continue to bless him, continue to give him good health, make him stronger wherever he is. Send his angels to guide him and bring him back to us very, very soon. Because we are heading home. Our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is coming back home with the flag of Biafra lifted high, just as he have told us that he has a mandate from Chukwu Okike and he will lead us to Biafra. And no human being born of a woman will stop the restoration of Biafra. That is the word of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and it must surely come to pass. Thank you so much for watching, wherever you are watching from, and remember, blessed. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.